Hello and welcome back to Speed Demon Painting. Today we are taking a look at the Dystopian Industrial set made by Warcradle Studios from their Warcradle Scenics range. And we'll be unboxing this one and having a look at what you can make out of this set. This set was sent to me as a review copy for a game that actually isn't out yet, which is Armoured Clash, which will be released somewhere in the summer of 2024. Having said all that, this can actually be used for multiple gaming systems, so let's have a look what's inside and what terrain you can build for those. Inside of it we will find the instruction booklet, and on that instruction booklet all the parts are listed with a number, but it doesn't really tell you that there is any set way to build them in, because, well, it is an incredibly modular system. The instructions go over basic things such as how can you connect two wall pieces together, what will you need for it, and how can you connect those to each other, which corners can you make, how do you make an inside corner, an outside corner, etc. Now on top of that you also get a few example buildings shown, but it doesn't really give you a hard guideline on how to do it. They just tell you how to deal with the double height walls, for instance, such as you can see here, how you can do the outside buttresses if you make a corner piece to stand there, how you can make an angular platform, and how you can use parts of the Sprue gate, which is very interesting, as a reinforcement to put the four platforms together, which is really neat. It also has some very good ideas like how to make an archway out of these things. However, if I were to make that building, I would make sure that it is at least 2 stories high so you can more easily move your models underneath it. But yeah, there's some very cool inspiration in there as well. And it just tells you what to do and then get creative with it, which is the best way to do it, because with the modularity we'll see, you can basically make whatever you want provided you have enough parts. And once you have made your main structure, you can start adding the embellishments such as chimney stacks, antennas, turrets and cranes. And if you want to, you can also add magnets to the whole peg system. So if you've got some embellishments from other game systems, you can probably add them to this system as well. Now the set comes with 2 different sprues, the first one being the one that has the most wall systems and floor systems on there, and these will mainly bulk out your main construction that you have your eye on. These parts can be connected together with these buttresses that you can see on the side, and they don't even have sprue gates on the side of it, they just have a bunch of different parts on there, and they also click together rather nicely for storage, as is common with the Warcradle Studio plastics, and they've left this handy little bit so you can grab them out of the box rather easily. And you can tell that a great deal of thought has gone into maximizing every square millimeter on this sprue, such as these reinforcement parts that allow you to connect together all these different floor pieces through that peg system that you can see at the bottom here, so you can make some really big floors if you want to, even though you're just using smaller parts. I was really impressed by this because it means that you're throwing away less plastic at the end of the run, because you can use your sprue gates as reinforcement, and that is such a clever design. I wish more companies would do this. In addition, both sides of the wall segments are fully detailed, so you can flip them around and just have infinite possibilities really to build them, because if you want to like the look of one particular side, you can just use that one and use the next one on your next project so that all your buildings look different. Now you can connect these in higher heights, if you will, infinitely, but you do need to connect a base part to it to finish the look, but you get plenty of those pieces, and in grand total you get 3 of the sprues that make this main structure. The second sprue doesn't have as many main structure pieces, but does have a lot more of the embellishments and the parapets that you can glue to the top to sort of hide all the different seam lines that you get. Now these parts do have a particular corner and angle, and you can't just start clipping away at them willy-nilly. You do have to line them up with the main construction you've already made, but it does sort of add the whole finished look to it. And on top of that you have all the different antennas, the ramps and everything, and you get way more of the buttresses, way more than you'll ever need really, so your choices really are infinite and decided by your creativity rather than the amount of parts that you're getting. Now, besides the embellishments and the buttresses, you do get some major structural elements on this second sprue as well, but those are mostly double height panels and double width panels on top of a 4 square foot platform that you get on there that has these neat little doors that can fold open to sort of complete that look of a highly industrial set. And as you can see, this bigger floor platform is completely compatible and can be reinforced with the smaller ones in case you have your eyes set on a massive piece of terrain as well. And very much like Sprue 1, Sprue 2 is absolutely jam-packed with parts, so you can just get going. And you're getting 3 of those as well in this box. So yeah, just have a crack at creating something that you like, and you can probably make it. And just to show you what I mean by reinforcing things with the sprue gate, I have started constructing these through the magic of editing, and I've got a first corner piece here with 2 of the platforms connected together, and because of this neat little peg system that goes onto the bottom, you can actually use your sprue gate to reinforce them, and it still clicks into place, making it a super solid structure. Now, I've gone ahead and made 2 very basic structures with this set, and I still have plenty of parts left over to do the rest. I did, however, make one small mistake. Due to the modularity, I actually applied this base upside down, making the ramp angled slightly, so don't make the same mistake that I have made. But yeah, I was basically using Sprue 2 mostly to make this 4x1 structure, if you will, and I've also gone and made a 4x1, but one with a double height on it, structure as well, and yeah, I really like how it came out. There's so many windows on there, the buttresses make it seem like a super solid construction, and yeah, this just looks like it is something that you won't destroy rather easily, which is the great thing. They're not sort of cheaping out on you by giving you ruins. They give you the full thing, the solid construction, and even if you've got larger models such as mechs that you can sort of jump onto them, it will look like it will hold, which is a great thing. The only thing you do have to worry about is making sure that your staircases align up with the doors, but that isn't exactly rocket science for these different buildings. Now, I've gone ahead and grabbed a few models from a few different small-scale games. The first one being 15mm tanks from Flames of War. And as you can see, at 15mm scales, these buildings do look a bit too small. It's doable, but it is stretching the size limit a bit. And to give you a point of reference, I've actually grabbed one of the most ubiquitous models in wargaming, a Space Marine, to sort of show you what size we're talking about for these buildings. Now, of course, Space Marines are never going to work at this scale, but some of the bigger models such as mechs from BattleTech are going to work perfectly, because once you go 2 stories high, a larger mech such as this Banshee can hide perfectly behind a 2-story building, and it can really count as good partial cover because, well, basically its legs are covered, so that works well with the game mechanics as well. If you're using smaller vehicles such as this LRM launcher model that I have, that one will be able to be hidden completely if you're playing Alpha Strike. Now, it stands to reason that these flight stems will be reused when Armoured Clash gets released, so it gives you an idea of just how high you can expect the flyers and everything to be compared to this scenic set. And for those people who actually have 3D printing capabilities, I recently backed the Full Spectrum Dominance terrain set that came out, and I've actually got a few of his bits of terrain that I printed at 10mm to start preparing for Armoured Clash as well. And through some extraordinary luck, it turns out that these sets are super compatible, because some of these wall sections actually have some holes in there that line up perfectly with the industrial pipe set that was released by Full Spectrum Dominance, so they can just be clicked into place provided you clip off some of the details, and that just allows you to really make these really cool full industrial sets, which is exactly what I plan to do for my table for Armoured Clash as well. Now, we really are living in the golden age of wargaming, where players have many different options if they want to build their table. 3D printing is one of them, but I can definitely see why you wouldn't be too happy to start with it, because there are things such as toxic fumes in place that you need, and then having options as well with plastic sets such as these just means that, yeah, you can do whatever you want really to get a great looking table. So in conclusion, there is a pretty great new system-agnostic system to build terrain that doesn't look too overly gothic, so that is only really usable in 40k systems, but can still be used in that one as well, but also leaves the door open to systems such as BattleTech, like I've mentioned before, but even Flames of War as well, and of course Armoured Clash. Now, whichever system you end up using it for, this has been my review for this box set, so I hope you have found it useful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for any future updates. This isn't the only set I received this week from Warcradle Studios. I also got the Order Colossi in, so if you want to see what those look like, make sure that you subscribe, and I'll hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye!